Since I was a pair of loud lips, I've seen words that flash towards me. They hang in the space between what I feel and what I am, precisely etched onto my fragile skin, like postage label paper cuts that hurt just as much to pull off and quickly never was any better. Not when you can see the gap it leaves behind in this papier-mâché person. Constructed from newspaper clippings and child's glue, I am minced pieces of yesterday's news held together with spit that could not resist the adhesive of everything I never should have been. The things I wanted never stuck, and the things I needed never stayed. Each soft curve and each cushion crinkles witnesses my suffocation. Becoming encased from the mind down, plaster of Paris, soapstone, alabaster hurts more. The numbing. In each breath between the castings screams to be the last. Then, crack open, chip away excess. Send down the seepings into seams, polish if she's made of glass. If you have a furnish, blast with every last expletive you know your son knows too. Finally, let it all soak in before her time is overdue. Then, with pride present the 21st century girl we know and resent. Considering it's like 3.5 hours away from International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, and the theme is protest, I thought it was appropriate. So yeah. I have not yet learned to walk around like the bullet in my heart was not planted with me. I did not grow from the ground with it. It is not all of me and more. It has grown as I have, and while I wish I could believe I could just tear it out, I know it too intimately to think it wouldn't just regrow from my brains. Not in whole, perhaps, but in part, and there are days when just a part feels too much. Like it's all there is, if that bullet in my heart is all there is. Sometimes, I wonder if my worth is in the gap I scrape shut across my chest so my lungs could fill. The air that seared my insides was what I needed, but the world feels at its melting point if you're used to facing out to the wind to shelter. And when my blood has soaked up everything they blew my way, each beat of my heart was a reminder of all they said when I was broken open. I drew myself with wings once, like an angel's, but broader. Because I didn't trust anything but me to raise me up out of my own ocean. I never planned an ascension, but I wanted the weightlessness and the light. And then I called myself lazy, as if the weight I knew myself to be was in my head when I also knew that my body was entangled in more than I could ever loosen. It was never quite rope, but an entwinement of my growth into the ground I'd be laid to rest in, because we grew up believing our bodies are not something to inhabit willingly while breathing. His chest is not for his lungs, but for every sharp word inhaled to puncture them, wishing it would spread outwards to the flesh that reminds him that he is not, he is not, he is not, he has never been anything but destined for an unbecoming. A splitting open for others to pin up to cry indifference while he points at his insides with chiseled teeth. They say they are the stitches. Pins, just needles only staying until she's together again. Saying she's enough as she is, but they do not understand that we cannot believe in it again. Not when we never had the pleasure of tales written about us. King's horses and men do nothing but loom large and trample and bruise us, and nothing ever heals. Not when wounds will you have to steal glances of yourself through. So you cut yourself so wide until you find that your theft could never have been a crime. You learn this when someone finds enough of you to give you a gift, a foundation for the house you will build, pillaging from skips of slurs to the bits that no one ever wanted until there was you, and you learn that that was enough. And they learn that we are enough, and we can be not, and he is not, and she is not, and they are not, and they are all beautiful in the grit that no one cared to scrape out of his lungs when he hung him up by his hips grow flowers. They grow out of the wounds in his heart like blood used to cry. The bulb may be metal. That means that it'll last. at last. There is something grown in his gaps, like the ones we seem to all have, thriving green through red. They are his, and they are him. So when he is grown, he'll have a reason to believe he is still growing. He is.